sounded, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. And it will be Marcus Alexander Bagwell, the kid that hung on last week. He went the 10 minutes with the world television champion, stunning Steve Austin. It so infuriated Dangerously that he essentially sicked the Dangerous Alliance, quite an old Oklahoma cliche, on this kid. And they were beating him to a pulp, and still Sting removed Bagwell from the ring. Beautiful body with the right hand, catching Bagwell. Bagwell retaliates. He walked in on a big right hand, placed right on his keister there. Surprising that Bagwell would start for his team, but I think it's great for his confidence that Sting allowed him to do it. No doubt this kid would jump through fire if Sting suggested it. Sting has really been a guy that no matter how much problems he's had, has taken his time on his days off, whenever he can, to help Bagwell improve and to hopefully move up the ladder here in WCW. That's the kind of guy Sting is. Battle Bowl winner, has a big heart. He has always time for the youngsters. That guy has no heart and very darn little hair. Beautiful Bobby, 1/2 of the World Tag Team Champions. Very interesting that he didn't put Anderson in this matchup. Forcing Bagwell into the corner. Bagwell holds on. He's trying to pull him out. It's Bagwell with the advantage. Taking Beautiful Bobby up and over. Bagwell's got a lot of intensity. A lot of confidence. After what he endured here last week, and now the television champion and currently #3 contender. The WCW Top 10. We'll start perhaps where he left off last week with young Mr. Bagwell. Bagwell's got to keep it very basic. And there's the tag. Austin quickly getting out of the corner as Sting stands poised in the center of the ring. Austin come to him. Austin executing the side headlock. Good shoulder block by Austin. The Stinger took him over. He takes Eaton the same way. Sting now getting some momentum, taking him both straight down. But this is not what Dangerously wanted to see. It seems to me that it would be obvious that if Eaton or Austin could hurt Sting, it would certainly give them a big advantage come the Clash this Tuesday. Look at this high impact move. The strength of the Stinger, taking them both straight down. Back to live action as the franchise from Venice Beach, California stands poised in the ring as Dangerously huddled momentarily with Austin and Eaton. It's Austin with the shoulder block. Sting though counters. What explosiveness we're seeing from the Stinger here today. The Stinger going for the Stinger splash, but he put on the brakes. Austin got out of the way. Caught an elbow coming in. He caught an elbow coming in. And again, the Stinger is controlling both Austin and Eaton in this tag team battle. Well, you know that Dangerously has had 7 days to make his game plan. Get the hell out of here! And obviously he is not too enamored by the proceedings here. is Sting poised and ready. He knows that the next 3 or 4 days are going to be as pivotal as any in his career. And the great thing about it is that we can see it right here on TV. Good arm drag takeover. Sting into the armbar. The number 2 contender for the WCW Heavyweight Championship, controlling Beautiful Bobby with the armbar. Sting having a few words there with the mama's boy. He's pouting. Tag made. Dangerous is not even a good role model for the spoiled rich kids that watch our program. Armbar by Bagwell. Bagwell with very few matches in his career. Had the biggest match of his young career here last week, as we mentioned, with Stunning Steve. He didn't win it, but he didn't lose it either. 10 minutes with him, and Beautiful Bobby, very dangerous in the ropes when he has the advantage. He'll take a shortcut, and good move by Bagwell. Great arm drag. Shades of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, the way it was executed. Beautiful Bobby with the right hand. Taking a quick tag to Stunning Steve, and he's taken down. Good arm drag. Bagwell keeping it very basic. And it seems as if he's gaining much more confidence as the minutes go by in this matchup. One fall of television time remaining here on TBS. Hammerlock really has it well applied. Doing a great job of mat wrestling. You can tell he has been tutored by Mike Graham in that particular department. Austin back up. Reaching verticality. Good hip lock takeover. Good counter move by the champion. Bagwell quickly. Even swings out. Takes him back down. Very sound. Bags in the Stinger. And Sting, believe it or not, is biting Austin. That's very uncharacteristic for the Stinger, but I think it shows you the mood he's in. They tried to destroy his leg. We've seen that. They took his U.S. championship in less than favorable circumstances, but he has never said a dissenting word. Sting over the top. Beautiful Bobby. Got Austin out of the way. Sting sailed over the top rope. Sting got to be hurt now. And maybe this is exactly what the Dangerous Alliance wanted. Sting to reach a vulnerable position. Ran into the steel. Once again into the security rail. And now the Dangerous Alliance has gained an advantage. And I have to believe that the man they want in the ring is there, the Stinger. Beautiful Bobby, cheating from the outside. Then Mr. Bagwell's got to stay on the apron. I know emotion's running so high in this one. Elbow by the television champion. Lateral press, the Sting. Only down for one. Austin makes the exchange with Beautiful Bobby. And one half of the World Tag Team Champions, breaking Sting's face right across the top rope. And now breaking his face. Our camera's covering every angle of this particular altercation. Snap mare, Sting goes down. Eaton measured him and caught him with the elbow right in the face. Somewhat surprised they haven't gone to work on his legs. Irish whip, a lot of velocity there. Straight right hand, nothing fancy about that. And another one. Sting absorbing a tremendous amount of punishment. But he fights back. A kick to the midsection and a straight right hand by the Stinger, one on Eaton. Another on Austin. Hammering whatever's near from the to the collarbone of Austin. That close line. Got to hand it to Austin. He is wrestling well over his head right here against Eaton and Anderson. Oh, there's a trip by Dangerously. And Sting saw that. Sting now. Sting has got Paul E. Dangerously. Sting's got Paul E. But there's beautiful Bobby from behind. Meanwhile, the ring, Austin with the stun gun on Bagwell. Zbyszko and Anderson are up. Austin's going to win it here for his team. They're beating up Sting. Again, the Dangerous Alliance with a brutal triple team. Dangerous, he's took off his belt. He's taken off his belt. They're making Sting watch this. Oh my, listen. He's with this kid with his belt, and they're making Sting watch it. Bagwell's back being whelped. You can hear the impact. Here comes some help from the locker room. Rhodes and Simmons and Steamboat. Oh, Sting with his young partner in his arms. What a night it'll be Tuesday. The Stingers, so much emotion here. And fans, we'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is our feature confrontation, 6-man tag team action. Introducing team number 1, accompanied by the Chief Executive Officer of the Dangerous Alliance, Paul E. Dangerously, and the First Lady of WCW, Medusa. First, from Huntsville, Alabama, weighing 233 pounds, beautiful Bobby. From Hollywood, California, 253 pounds, the World Television Champion, stunning Steve Austin. And from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, weighing 254 pounds, he is the United States Heavyweight Champion, Ravishing Rick Rude.
I'm sure Gary better appreciates the assistance from Paul E.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents from Marietta, Georgia, 234 pounds, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Charlotte, North Carolina, 241 pounds, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Venice Beach, California, 251 pounds. This is Sting.
Fans, this one has the makings of a real old-time slobber knocker. And we'll have it right after this timeout. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard the sounding of the bell. The referee has completed his instructions. All the preliminaries have been taken care of. And the emotions indeed are running high. Sting is still the champion, so says that poster. And that is exactly what lies in the hearts of so many of the little Stingers. Sting lost the U.S. Championship.
1, 2, 3, it's all yours. Can you make them out?
At the Clash of Champions back in November. I'm sure you all remember that. But it was only after Lex Luger damaged Sting's knee. Rude, to his credit, under the leadership of Paul E. Dangerously, took advantage of the situation. And they came away with a victory in the United States Heavyweight Championship. Steamboat going right to the corner. We know that he has got tremendous motivation in this contest. It was just days ago that he and Dustin Rhodes were upset by Eaton and Anderson of the Dangerous Alliance for the World Tag Team Championship. He has been threatened by Ravishing Rick Rude. So Steamboat needs no more motivation than he has here. Great kip up by Steamboat. Look at the agility. And now countering Ravishing Rick Rude with that wrist lock. Steamboat controlling it here. Rude, you can see the effects of the leverage of the Dragon. talk briefly about the big nationally televised broadcast this Tuesday. Sting and Steamboat will be partners against Rude and Austin in a big grudge match. But no bigger than you're seeing right here on this great television station. Great agility by Steamboat, down between the legs. He got behind. Good atomic drop. And Mr. Rude moving rather gingerly. Arm drag. Lightning quick from the Dragon. Steamboat currently ranked number 4 and dangerously does not want Steamboat to tag in the Stinger. And he gets his wish. He can breathe a sigh of relief, but it's not going to be any better, I don't think, with the rookie Marcus Alexander Bagwell in there. This kid has been really had a gut check at the hands of the Dangerous Alliance in recent weeks, but he's back to fight right here on this broadcast. But right now he's in a very dangerous part of the ring. The most dangerous part of the ring, to be exact. The handsome features of Bagwell being rearranged. Reversal. We've got beautiful body up, scoop slam. Again, he just slammed with authority by Bagwell. Bagwell follows him right to the corner, but he moved away. He's really learning as if he's staying after school, because he's been in school with not only Mike Graham and Dustin Rhodes, Flying Brian, but with all the problems that Sting has had, the Dangerous Alliance, with all the commitments Sting has with children's groups, he still takes time to help young Mr. Bagwell. And that's the kind of man that Sting is. Again, he turns the advantage right into his corner. Bagwell out of the corner, and there are shades of the Dragon. Arm drag, and the Stinger tags in. Two of the top-rated athletes in the world, and you're singing exclusively here on WCW Pro. Sting, number 2 in the world rankings. Austin, number 3. As close as you can get. And we're happy you're here with us on this great television station each and every week. And the fans here are loving this. Big crowd on hand. They've got their posters and banners. They're just nothing like seeing WCW live when it comes to your area. Austin with a shoulder block. Now going to the far side. Moving right to left. Good hit back by Sting. Takes Eaton over. Austin downstairs. Eaton downstairs. Gets some momentum. Oh, but they nailed it. They caught him coming off. And now double team. Sting avoids that move. It catches Eaton with the clothesline. And now Austin. Oh, he planted. What velocity from the Stinger. And another right hand. Beautiful Bobby walked right into it. Rude wants in, but dangerously, and Eaton holding the U.S. champion, who the next time he meets Sting one-on-one may not be the U.S. champion. Dangerously is adamant to keep Rude and Sting apart. This crowd here demands it. They want it. They know that Sting, on a given day, can take Rude. Austin still the legal man in this matchup. Sting with the exchange. No drop-off in the offensive firepower when Steamboat comes in. Snapmare takeover into a reverse chin lock. When Steamboat's in offensively, he dictates the pace. And this crowd is living. They're into this. That man, the focal point. Some call him the franchise. Good counter move by Austin. Belly to back suplex and a clothesline takes down the Dragon. Steamboat ram back first into the knee of Rude. Waiting for the exchange. It'll be Beautiful Bobby now. In there for the Dangerous Alliance. Vintage Beautiful Bobby backbreaker, leg hook, and Steamboat kicks out. Again, another backbreaker. That's two backbreakers, and again Steamboat refuses to be pinned. He comes up fighting. The tag was made. A neck breaker by Beautiful Bobby, and a big elbow there by Rude. A right hand by Austin. Steamboat being bounced around like a volleyball. Steamboat close to making a tag. Rude fighting to keep it from doing it. And he made the tag. And the referee did not see it and will not allow it. Steamboat on the left part of your screen being decimated. The ref didn't see the tag and would not allow it. Man, the roof was about to come off this jam-packed arena. Rude now up top to take a chance. Try to put Steamboat away here. Clubbing right hand, and that was taunting the Stinger. But while he's taunting, Steamboat wants to pin it. Beautiful Bobby rakes Steamboat's eyes and stopped the count. And what intensity here. And this is exactly as you will see when WCW comes to an arena near you. Austin stomping. Trying to keep Steamboat at bay. At least in the center of the ring. At worst. Bagwell. Oh, Austin, the back of Austin's head cracked the face of the Dragon. Both men are down, and the referee is exercising his 10 count. Steamboat hanging on for all he's got between the legs, and he tags in. He tagged in Bagwell. Bagwell comes in. The rookie from Marietta, Georgia, elevating Steve in the lights. Clothesline, puts him down, and another on Eden, and one on the U.S. champion. This rookie is standing tall with these giants of WCW, and what a power slam. Oh, 6, and Steven Rude hooking it up. But look at Eden. Eden on the top rope. Rude and Sting outside. Referee with power lead. Beautiful Bobby caught Bagwell off the top. Austin will get the pin. The Dangerous Alliance win it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the Dangerous Alliance of Beautiful Bobby, stunning Steve Austin, and ravishing Rick Rude.
What volatility we are seeing here. And now they've got a chair. They're going to try to put this kid out once and for all. That steel chair ran right into Sterling. Sting has got the chair. Fans will be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag team event on the Clash of the Champions. It is set for one fall with TV time remaining. Introducing first, members of the Dangerous Alliance. First from Hollywood, California. He weighs 258 pounds. The World Television Champion, stunning Steve Austin. His tag team partner, Robbinsdale, Minnesota. 255 pounds, the United States Heavyweight Champion, ravishing Rick Rude. They are accompanied by Paul E. Dangerously.
Cut the music. What I'd like to have right now is for all you fat, out of shape, cable watching couch potatoes, sit back and shut up while I take my robe off and show you what a real sexy man is supposed to look like. Hit the music.
The United States heavyweight champion, currently ranked number 1 on WCW Top 10, in phenomenal shape. His partner, Stunning Steve, ranked number 3.
You know what I like about this, Jim Ross?
What's that, Jess?
You know, if I was 20 years older, these two guys could be my sons. They remind me of me.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents. Introducing first, from Charlotte, North Carolina. He weighs 235 pounds. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. His partner from Venice Beach, California, 255 pounds. This is Sting.
Sting, who will meet Lex Luger exclusively on pay-per-view on Saturday, February 29th, is currently ranked number 2 in the WCW World Top 10. Steamboat is number 4. So wrestlers 1, 2, 3, and 4 all involved in this tag team matchup, with Nick Patrick, the senior referee, assigned this contest.
This is pretty remarkable, you know, Jim Ross. It's a very rare occasion when you get the top 4 contenders in the ring at one time. And I'll tell you what, Sting better be careful, because he's got a shot at the champ. So how much can he possibly turn loose here tonight?
Steamboat and Austin starting it out for their respective duos here. It's Austin with the advantage on the ropes. We had a clean break, surprisingly.
Now, why do you say that?
Because he doesn't do it very often.
Well, let's see if Steamboat does it. It'll be interesting to see what kind of break the Dragon gives out there.
Shoulder block by the Dragon. Austin down. Austin from a great athletic family. His father played in the Cotton Bowl for Rice University. Great Southwest Conference football player, so he comes from good stock.
Well, that must have been years ago, because I can't even remember when Rice was in a bowl.
Right hand by the television champion. Steamboat in trouble. 3 right hands find their mark. They're right above us, but Steamboat with the martial arts, trying to fight back. And another blow. Steamboat fighting out of the corner. Austin in trouble now. Steamboat with the martial arts, and very effective with it.
Well, I'll tell you, Stunning Steve Austin made a major mistake. When he had Steamboat in the corner, he paused, he hesitated, and he gave the Dragon the opening. And you cannot give Ricky the Dragon Steamboat any opening whatsoever in the ring.
Austin and Steamboat have both been Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookies of the Year. Certainly want to thank Dennis Brand and Craig Peters for their assistance in preparing this broadcast tonight. Good move there by Steamboat. Both arms are hooked, printing predicament. He may have it. He got a 2 count.
Well, it was very close right there. The Dragon going for it again.
He's going for it again, and he almost had it. Steamboat inside cradle. He's got it locked up. He may have it here, but Austin too strong.
You know, this could be very interesting. We could have a pinfall before Sting or Rude even hit the ring.
Steamboat with a karate kick, and Rude in. And a rude awakening for him in the form of the foot to the midsection. And now dangerously must attempt to regroup his team.
Oh, don't worry about dangerously. He's got a plan. He will definitely regroup out there. That's the important thing about having a manager. A manager can see what goes on inside that ring, where you as a participant cannot always be aware of everything happening in the ring. That's why you got a man like Paul Lee outside the ring.
Sting and Steamboat obviously want to wrestle this match at their pace, which is quick, and the tag has been made. The exchange, and Steamboat, a veteran move, moves away from the corner.
Well, that's Ricky Steamboat does not want to get caught in the corner. He does not want Rude or Austin to get him, cut the ring off, and tough it out in the corner 2-on-1. See, this is tag team wrestling, and if you can get away with it, you do it. If you can get a 2-on-1 situation, you take advantage of it. Wow.
Rude just walked over and slapped Sting right in the face. And Sting demands a tag. And the Steamer is ready to let him have it. Look at Rude back away.
A smart move by Rude.
How do you figure that? How
do I figure that? He's trying to entice Sting into the corner. If he gets him in the corner, they got the 2-on-1 situation they're looking for.
Fans, we ask you to vote on the poll on our 900 number about Paul Lee dangerously being allowed at ringside for a Rude's U.S. title defenses, and We'll have the results of that this Saturday on WCW when the Steiners meet two members of the Dangerous Alliance.
Well, I voted already, and I voted that Paul Lee should be on the sidelines.
For some reason, that doesn't surprise me as Rude opens up an advantage offensively on the Stinger.
And now Sting's getting dangerous. He's getting over towards that corner.
Sting with a great leapfrog. Waistlock. Atomic drop.
Whoa. And believe me, Jim Ross, you ought to see what that feels like.
I'll pass. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, look at poor Rick Rude.
Sting with a clothesline. Has the advantage now on Rude. Austin in. And he goes down from the right hand.
They need to bail out. They need to get out of the ring and regroup with Paul Lee. Now, what kind of a move is that on a Sting?
It's a move out of aggression, out of anger.
Scratching with the fingernails. Come on, this guy's supposed to be a hero.
Sting with the Irish whip, takes him with a lot of velocity to the corner on the far side of the ring. Boy, all four of these men are in magnificent physical condition. Gut wrench.
Is he gonna get it?
Rude had it blocked, but he came down abdomen first. Sting, single leg pickup. Now the modified version of the camel clutch. You know this move.
Well, he needs to sit back with it. He's got to get back and lock the fingers. We could get a submission. I'd say on any normal human being, you'd get a submission. But that is ravishing Rick Rude in the ring. He is not a normal human being.
And the Stinger emulating the ravishing one right in Paul E. Dangerously's face, and the brash manager, the psycho yuppie from Scarsdale, and Sting and Rude, or Sting and Steamboat make an exchange.
Wait a minute. Did they tag?
I didn't see a tag.
I didn't see no tag on a Sting and Steamboat. Come on, referee, do your job. You did not see a tag. Switch them back.
This phenomenal crowd here in Topeka, not wanting Steamboat to leave, and now Steamboat bumping and grinding all
Look at that. Another illegal tag, Jim Ross.
But he's the legal man, right? You wanted him to make the exchange.
Yeah, don't give me that. That's an illegal tag. These guys are cheating. I can't believe it.
And you think the Dangerous Alliance will not cheat or maim someone if they're given the opportunity, Jim?
Yeah, but the problem is Steamboat and Sting are cheating first. They're supposed to be Whoa. I think Sting's a soprano. The next time he does Roxanne, it's gonna be at soprano level.
Rude, lower back, being punished. Perhaps he should make the tag here. He buries a knee, and now does make the tag to the television champion.
And now the Stinger's in trouble because he's caught in the wrong corner.
Listen to this crowd here at the Kansas Expo Center. They're right above us here.
And Stunning Steve trying to get him to eat the buckle, but Sting blocks it.
Austin tastes the turnbuckle. This crowd here coming alive. And Austin with a knee strategically placed in the abdomen. Sting in trouble. Austin with the Irish whip to the center. And the elbow.
Beautiful elbow right there. The Stinger's in big trouble. We could get a pin.
Right there, and he got two. Austin went for the cover and got two out of it. Another tag. They're tagging in and out now.
Now you notice Austin and Rude are making legal tags.
And they're making it with a great deal of regularity.
Of course, Austin's staying in there. He's got a 5 count to get out of the ring. He's using that to his advantage to double team the Stinger.
Front face lock applied by ravishing Rick Rude as Sting tries to make his way to his corner to tag Ricky Steamboat.
Well, if they tag, it'll be the first legal one of the match.
They're close. And Rude knocking Steamboat down before Sting can make the tag. Now he goes for the lateral press. He may have him here, and Sting able to kick out.
Well, Rude made a mistake there. He got a little bit overconfident, Jim Ross. He should have hooked the leg. He did not hook the leg. You got to do that.
Jess, even though Sting has had major problems with the Dangerous Alliance, will the signing of that world title match affect his concentration in this contest?
Well, it'll be a major setback for him if he gets pinned here. The Clash of Champions, if he goes down to defeat.
Austin again with a cheap shot on Steamboat. precluding a tag. Irish whip Sting in again. Sting, this time, trying to go for the sunset flip. Austin to the wide base and went for a right hand, but Sting avoided it. And Sting makes the tag.
And here comes the Dragon.
Steamboat is well rested, and he's nailing Austin. And Rude, the martial arts blows. The Dragon now in control offensively of this tag team battle.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's got to happen. The referee better get some control in there. He's got 3 men in the ring. There's only supposed to be 2.
Martial arts to the abdomen, a forearm to the kidneys, and Steamboat up on the shoulders of the television champion. Takes him over in a victory roll. He's got him, but he had him pinned, and Rude now interferes. Rude came in illegally.
And so did Sting, so it's all fair in love and war, Jim Ross.
And indeed, this is a war. Jim Ross and Jesse the Body Ventura at ringside. Live here on TBS, and what an elbow.
He caught him flush on the chops with that one, and Ricky the Dragon is now going to eat Rick Rude's knee. The Dragon in major, major trouble here. Going to get double teamed in the corner.
And in classic tag team strategy, they are keeping Steamboat in their half of the ring.
That's right, that's important. In any tag team confrontation, you want to cut the ring off and do it on your side of that 50-yard marker.
Again, the tag made, and look at Steamboat's positioning near the corner of the Dangerous Alliance. Steamboat has such great cardiovascular conditioning and great resiliency, but it's reversed by Austin. Great agility by Steamboat, trying to roll him up, but Austin held on to the rope. Austin at 258, Steamboat 235, but Steamboat with a quick inside cradle, and again Rude in, and Sting in.
We got all 4 in there now. Referee's losing control of it.
Sting being tossed on the rampway by ravishing Rick Rude. I think Austin and Steamboat are the legal men in this match right now.
You're correct at that. Austin and Steamboat are the legal men, and Sting's taking it to outside the ring.
Sting and Austin battling out here on the rampway.
Austin better watch out. He could get counted out. He's not the legal man.
Sting thrown off the ramp. Rude and Steamboat hammering away, back in the ring. Now Rude goes back to the apron, and Austin continues with a backbreaker on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Trying to injure Steamboat's back. Sting up on top. Sting the crossbody.
What? He can't count that.
He got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the team of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Sting.
Hey!
Sting and Steamboat have won it.
How can they have won it? 2 guys pinned 1 guy.
You've got to give the assist to Sting, but there's a rude awakening. Rude awakening on a already weakened Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Sting went for the stinger splash, but he missed.
And now's when Paulie and the boys are going to do the damage.
Oh, no, not another one. There's no reason for this. The second rude awakening.
I think the Dragon's been awakened.
The human anatomy cannot sustain this, and now he's got that belt. Oh, my God.
Whoa! He's giving him a good old-fashioned country whipping.
The security men are being lashed as well. Sting trying to come back in and protect his partner.
And we got all hell breaking loose in there now. Everybody's in there. Security men, the Dangerous Alliance.
Look at Rude now, trying to whip Steamboat, but Sting covering on his partner.
Well, what the heck? They double team for the win. They might as well double team now, and they're whipping.
Austin and Rude continuing this onslaught. Look at Rude lashing away. Sting protecting his partner.
Wrestling fans, the following contest, the feature confrontation, a special bounty match set for 1 fall. Introducing first, accompanied by former heavyweight champion Harley Race. He's from the Rocky Mountains. He weighs 445 pounds. Big Ben Beater.
Over 400 pounds, and that he is with Harley Race. Spells even more trouble for the Stinger, and one of the most anticipated matchups we've ever had in the history of worldwide wrestling. You're watching it here. Big Ben Bader. Let's go back to Gary Capetta.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Venice Beach, California, weighing 251 pounds, this is Sting!
The Stinger and Big Van Vader ready to square off. And as we come to you, we are 3 weeks away from Super Bowl. And you heard the announcements of the Steiners and of course their big matchup, but none looms bigger than the Stinger. And you know, I have to wonder about this match. There's no question why Big Van Vader is here. But I have to wonder about Sting. He is so courageous, so willing. And you are seeing, and you have been seeing since the beginning of 1992, 2 different athletes approaching the sport in 2 entirely different means. Stinger has wrestled. He has been in the wars against the Dangerous Alliance, going up against Ravishing Rick Rude. And then there's the world champion Lex Luger, who has taken the other road, who has not wrestled, who has been in seclusion, who is trained, who says he's in the best condition of his life. It's drawing near, but in the Stinger, he has to think about getting into this match first of all. And Vader, we're talking about a million ways to hurt a person. Vader's got them all. Strength, power, he's got speed, tremendous amount of confidence. And here's a guy who has been so successful not only here but internationally. He's got Harley Race in his corner.
Back on him, Vader.
Back on him, you hear it. But Vader backed away, giving Sting a chance to come out. Right hands! He blocked it. Sting, combination blows. Vader, he goes down. Head out. Sting's gonna go after it. You're talking about courage. Something I would think you don't want to do. He's got his back to Harley Race. Or at least he had his back to Harley Race. Oh, no! That time Sting and Vader both hit, but it was Sting. And the shoulder, right on the pectoral region, actually, below the shoulder, hit hard on the barricade on the outside. No one is discounting Sting's courage or his willingness. Race hovering over Sting, massive. I guess the world champion Luger feels that everything's going his way now. Pick up a belly to back. You may hear Harley say, take him out, take him out. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. He leveled him with that one. And look at Randy Anderson checking. Sting may be out. Vader again. He is leveled. But Sting counters with a move of his own. Oh, my. Again, Randy Anderson checks to see if he's out. He has taken a tremendous amount of a tremendous amount of punishment. To the point of attack again. There's no question this has been all Van Vader. And he has been here to hurt Stinger, and he's doing a pretty darn good job of it right now. Oh, my. Stinger slumps now. Randy Anderson checking. You wonder how much more punishment he can take. Vader has been awesome. Stinger has been resilient, if nothing else. Power slam. Harley Race celebrating now. The Vader bomb! No, he's not! is hitting with everything. Big forearms, big clotheslines, all the way, power slam. He is set on him. Sting goes to pick him up. But Vader counters to the eyes. Sting drops down behind. Belted up. Incredible surge of energy that time on the Stinger. Going after Vader one more time. And now picks him up. Over 400. Here he goes. Vader kicked out. Fans thought it was over. Many were standing. Vader came up. Vader kicks him down. And now Vader scoots on the outside. Here goes Sting after him. Right hand to the head. Back and forth they go. Now Vader holding Sting on the ring post. Oh, to the head. What a violent matchup we're seeing here. Here he goes again. The count goes on.
And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match as a result of a countout, Sting!
Sting wins by countout. But now Harley Race wants to get right here. Sting! Scorpion deathlock on Race. He dropped it. He's on it. Showing Lex Luger that he's ready to go. And Superboy. And what a fight it was. Let's go to WCW this week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, six-man tag team action. It is set for one fall. Introducing team number one. From the Rocky Mountains, he weighs 445 pounds. Big Van Vader. From Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, 294 pounds. Cactus Jack. And from Kansas City, 375 pounds, the Bodyguard, Mr. Hughes. And they are accompanied by the former heavyweight champion of the world, Harley Race. And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents. First from Detroit, Michigan, total combined weight, 525 pounds. Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers. Their partner from Venice Beach, California, 251 pounds. This is Sting.
Listen to this crowd. What a matchup we've got coming your way on the main event. And fans, like I've talked about earlier on in the hour, you have to wonder about Sting's judgment. And the Steiner brothers, for that matter. There is so much on the line. February 29th. The WCW World's Heavyweight title for Sting. The World Tag Team titles. And the Steiners and Sting in the ring now with Van Vader, who is managed by who? Harley Race. Mr. Hughes, who is he managed by? Harley Race. As is Lex Luger. We've seen the type of strategies that Race has employed in the past. Oh, nice move by Scott Steiner. Certainly nobody in Race's camp would be disappointed if Sting or the Steiners were physically unable to take part in Super Brawl 2. But don't think for a second that the Steiners and Sting don't know. Oh, nice takedown by Scott Steiner. Steiner going to work on Cactus Jack. Cactus Jack retaliates with a right to the side of the head. Puts a boot under the back of the head of Scott Steiner as Sting and Rick Steiner are looking on. Forearm perfectly legal to the back of the head. Two left jabs with a close fist, followed up by a headbutt in the corner turnbuckles. Referee applies the count. Scott Steiner now takes a trip across the right into the corner turnbuckles. Brings a boot up, puts it right on the chin of Cactus Jack. Now look at this. Belly to belly suplex. Tremendous move by Scott Steiner. And his crowd on their feet. Cactus Jack out on the concrete floor. The Steiner brothers, the only tag team in history to ever hold the WCW United States tag titles, the IWGP titles, and the World Tag Team titles all at the same time. Van Vader now checks in. Over 400 pounds, a very intimidating athlete. And Rick Steiner says, I want a piece of this. And the dog-faced gremlin comes in. You can hear the fans barking. Van Vader now trying to intimidate Rick Steiner. And I don't think it's going to work, frankly. Look at this guy. He's got a smile on his face. Goes into a side headlock. Big Van Vader up. Side suplex on Rick Steiner. You got to hear Scott outside the ring say, come on, Ricky. These two have been in the wars for so long together. Off the ropes. Splash by Big Van Vader. We've got to cover the 2 counts. Snap suplex. Over goes Rick Steiner. And you notice they're keeping Sting a fresh man. Sting is yet to check into this contest. Good strategy. Nice go behind a reversal. Belly to belly up. Belly Van Vader. Wow, Steiner line. Van Vader's got to be wondering what in the world is going on. He goes over the top rope. Outside of the ring, nails Cactus Jack, goes to work on Van Vader. Wow. Fans, it doesn't get any better than this on the main event. And there's the tag. In comes Sting, the fresh man in the ring. And Van Vader has got to be glad to see Steiner, Rick Steiner, check out, but can't be looking forward at all to having to tie up with Sting. Now, Cactus Jack and Van Vader have Sting back in the corner. Referee trying to break the hold. Big Mr. Hughes comes in, delivers a right hand to the side of the head. Headbutt by the bodyguard. Irish whip into the ropes. Clothesline sends Sting to the canvas. Up the ropes. Power body slam. 2. And if you don't think for 1 second that the bodyguard was in this match for one thing and one thing only, and to put Sting out, to keep him from showing up February 29th. That is his agenda. That's his job. And he takes his work very seriously indeed. Over the top goes Sting. Hip toss takedown. Sting flying drop kick sends the bodyguard out between the ropes. This crowd on their feet. Harley Race. Look at this. What a matchup. And Sting is just waiting in the center of the ring. Hughes not real anxious to get back into this matchup. It's like a showdown at the OK Corral here. Kellen elbow hook up in the center of the ring. The bodyguard brings up a big knee to the midsection, fires a forearm to the back of the head, and Sting backs him into the corner turnbuckles. Big Van Vader comes in. Sting doesn't even see it. Goes to work on the ribcage of Sting. And now it's Van Vader with an Irish whip. Clothesline sends Sting down again, over 400 pounds. Van Vader. Van Vader can crush a man with those big right hands of his. But look at this. Body press. Oh, my word. Follows it up with a body slam. The cover. And Sting able to roll his shoulder. Irish whip off the rope. Steps over the clothesline. Look at this. Look at this. Sting with a body slam on Van Vader. Incredible. Right hand to the head. Off the ropes. Vader catches it. Oh, man! Hooks the leg. Oh, ho, ho. Came within an eyelash of a 3 count. And in comes a dog-faced gremlin. Rick Steiner going to work on Van Vader. Vader off the ropes, reverses the Irish whip. The bodyguard, oh, look at that. Oh, man, incredible clothesline. Just nailed Rick Steiner. Took him right off his feet. And now Cactus Jack checks in with a leg drop across the throat. Referee's in position. We've got a 2 count and a kick out by Rick Steiner. Steiner is dazed from that clothesline. Takes a right hand from Cactus Jack. This is the first time I have ever seen Rick Steiner so compromised. But look at him! Just look at him! He's still smiling! It's like the commercial. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And now the bodyguard comes in. Bigger right hand. We're approaching the 10-minute mark in this contest. Body slam now on Rick Steiner, and the bodyguard comes off the rope, flying elbow right across the chin. Cover 2. Rick Steiner rolls that shoulder. And Vader checks in again as Hughes exposes the ribs. Vader digs in, elbow deep into the rib cage. Irish whip into the ropes. Oh, no. I don't want to sound like I'm second-guessing Rick Steiner, but that was a mistaken strategy. Could have been a reflex move, but Rick Steiner paid the price. Takes a big right hand to the side of the head by Cactus Jack. Squealing like a pig, biting the face of Rick Steiner. Irish whip reversal into the corner turnbuckles. Cactus Jack drops to one knee, and Steiner ends up in the top turnbuckle. Rick Steiner in serious trouble. He's in no man's land. Vader, Hughes, Cactus Jack in the corner. Triple teaming Rick Steiner. Referee applying the count. Steiner into the corner. Steiner down goes Cactus Jack. And whatever was left of Cactus Jack's dental work just got loosened up. And in comes Sting. Listen to this crowd. Right hands, push to the midsection. Irish whip into the rope. Back body drop. Elbow drop on Hughes. Cover 2. And Hughes is up. Irish whip into the ropes. He got him. He nailed it. Oh, now Van Vader comes in. Short clothesline. Sends Sting over the top rope. Scott Steiner goes to work now on Van Vader. Rick Steiner's in there with Hughes. Van Vader throws Scott Steiner out over the top rope. Both men end up out on the concrete. We've got action in the ring. We've got action outside of the ring. Fans, I can't keep up with it all. Sting now back in. Making his way to the top turnbuckle. We've got a war going on outside of the ring. Sting comes off the top rope and nails the bodyguard. 2, 3, that's it.
And ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match, the team of Sting and the Steiner Brothers.
And we're back here, ladies and gentlemen. The bell has just sounded. Jim Ross and the Tailor-Made Man back here on World Championship Wrestling. This is the match we've been talking about. And this should be, Mr. Taylor, a real war. And as we said earlier, the stakes are high. And they're going to start off early.
wouldn't do it.
It's going to be Barry Windham. He's starting out. Windham by him to take right hand. Nearly beautiful pocket side headlock as it starts out very quickly here on TBS. Then knees the back by Arn Anderson. And Windham not even coming in. He nails Anderson with the elbow. It brings him inside.
Business on the outside. Windham pulls him in.
Well, Anderson was one of the men, along with Larry the Cruncher Zbyszko, that broke the right hand of Barry Windham, and obviously he has a big score to settle, a great deal of animosity toward the Dangerous Alliance.
I think the Steiners have paid Windham to soften him up. I don't think they want to wrestle the Dangerous Alliance in a World Tag Team title match with beautiful Bobby and Arn Anderson healthy.
Collar elbow tie-up, Windham and Eaton, the legal men in the ring. Mike Atkins, the referee. Eaton went for the right hand, but Windham had it well scouted. He comes back with a couple of rights of his own. There's the Irish whip with a great deal of velocity. Beautiful body, back body bar. He was up in the lights on that. Injuries certainly play a big part in professional sports. And these 8 men are certainly putting that particular aspect of a wrestling match on the line here, because no one, not one of the 8 can afford an injury here. And what an insulting gesture from Anderson on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Anderson's smart. He's very calculating, always under control. He's having to get that fired up temper of the Hawaiian Mini Steamboat to go crazy and make a mistake. Why would you run into a corner with 4 of your opponents right there?
Steamboat, the veteran, though, if you'll notice, is being very cautious there, and rightfully so. He should be. Steamboat en route for the United States Heavyweight Championship at Super Brawl, exclusively on pay-per-view. Remember, Paulie Dangerously will be barred from ringside for that contest. It's Anderson left hand, and Steamboat barred arm.
Gosh, nobody's giving an inch or taking an inch here.
Steamboat's ninja is at ringside. Great focus by the Dragon. Anderson held on. Oh, look at martial arts from the Dragon.
Timeout. They need to get reorganized right now.
Dangerously is rather adamant at ringside. What an opportunity
Got a heavy-duty phone here today.
for the Dangerous Alliance to eliminate some of their competition.
Better call the Riot Squad. The way things are going now.
We've talked about matches, Terry, of this magnitude in the next 7 days. Some big events that fans can see that will have some tremendous ramifications. Steamboat delivers several martial arts moves. But in the next 6 or 7 days between now and Super Brawl, some of the biggest cards of the year are going to be held. And again, some major matchups in those events.
Yeah, you notice that Sting and Rick Rude staying out of the ring. I think those two are the smartest of the whole bunch. Sting has an opportunity to win the most prestigious title in our sport. Rude by Steamboat. You see Rick Rude is not about to give anybody a cheap shot to win the U.S. title.
Steamboat's martial arts training certainly proving very effective here as he tags in the young natural Dustin Rhodes, and he nails Zbyszko with a lariat.
Landers leverage at 6'6".
Dustin and Barry will meet Zbyszko and Austin in a big grudge match at Super Brawl. Irish whip to the center of the rope. Good shoulder rock by Dustin to the far side now. An arm drag takeover by Zbyszko. A counter by Dustin Rhodes.
My gosh, you can't even hardly call it. It's happening so fast. I'm glad that's your job.
Zbyszko now tagging in. The arrogant United States Heavyweight Champion.
You know Steamboat's not going to tag in. You know he's going to leave the ringside.
I don't think you're going to see Steamboat walk away from any confrontation with Rude. will stand beside Barry Windham in that big grudge match in 7 days.
Big Stunning Steve knows what he's getting into with a wild man like Windham trying to get revenge against Larry Zbyszko in 1 week. I wouldn't want to be a guy blocking him, not keeping Larry Zbyszko. Oh, listen to these people. They're saying, table made.
They're saying we want Sting, we want Sting. Tremendous crowd on hand.
They got Sting.
And they make the exchange. Sting and Ravishing Rick Rude, who have been having a real war since Rude's debut back in October here in WCW.
See Rude's in no hurry. He's a smart man. Big one, and the third man is in there now. Talk about the crowd.
Rude was ranked number 1 in WCW rankings. That man, number 2. And they're starting it off with a tremendous amount of velocity here. With Sting getting the upper hand. With Sting getting the advantage. Building the momentum. There's the Irish whip. And he's got him up. Tremendous back body drop by the Stinger. And he caught him with clothesline. Sting, opponent drive. Compressing his spine.
After the backdrop and the atomic drop, smart wrestling by Sting. I got to admit it. All these are compressions on the vertebrae.
He got Rude out of the corner before Rude could execute a tag.
Insult to injury. Tim Boston.
Rude rakes the eyes. And now muscles Sting back in the corner. Sting trying to fight his way out of there.
Better.
The Stinger bringing this crowd to his feet. Fighting his way out of the corner. Zbyszko now.
Sting.
Military pressing
Wish he
him.
couldn't do that to me. 2 in a row.
Anderson decides that discretion is the better part of valor here. And the adrenaline rushing to the bodies of these 8 men. Zbyszko set a little early. Sting capitalized on the situation and tags in Barry Windham. And this is what Barry had wanted.
Zbyszko doesn't want to be in there now.
Windham has one thing on his mind here, and that is revenge.
Let me ask you, has the referee checked the taped hand of Windham?
I'm sure that he did. I saw him do it during the commercial break.
The note was broken. I know they operated on it. I guess I got to think that he came back a little too soon. Is he ready? If he's not, this is a team right here. Vegas tries to find out. Here we go.
Lateral press.
2.
And 2.5 after the double clothesline. And the veteran from Pittsburgh wisely rose to his moment.
That's why he's a veteran. He's still around because he knows when to get out.
Beautiful Bobby will have the World Tag Team Champions. Fans, don't forget next week here on WCW, our broadcast will originate from Milwaukee. Jesse the Body Ventura will be with yours truly for the entire hour, as we mentioned. Beautiful Bobby being hit with a top turnbuckle. Big right hand by Dusty Rhodes. And hip box eating out of the corner. And Dustin with an assist from Anderson. Dustin dropped on the top ring rope. And now the Natural is injured.
He's in bad shape right now.
Zbyszko and Rude double teaming the Natural.
Well, you don't think the stakes are high, do you? They're attacking him 2-on-1 out on the floor. Steamboat, Windham trying to help. The referee's trying to restore order. Who do you stop? You have 4 guys from each side attacking him at once.
Fans also remember it has been made official. Next week, Taylor Made Man and Greg Valentine take on Big Josh and Ron Simmons. That will be for the United States Tag Team title.
Anybody who's played football knows that's the best way in the world to ruin a career.
There's a clip in that knee, and now they're working on the left leg of the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. Rude now in.
We're going to find out what Dustin Rhodes is made of. Take those wheels out from underneath the guy who's 6'6", then he's about 9 feet tall, or 9 inches tall when he's laying flat on his back.
Dustin pulled himself up, but he's going to have a great deal of trouble standing. His left knee clipped from Eaton. And a follow-up damage done by Ravishing Rick Rude. And this crowd here chanting again. They want this Stinger as Rude will take a chance.
What a move!
Drop Rhodes showing great determination. But Rude goes right back to work on the leg. And now here comes one of the most sadistic athletes in WCW, Arn Anderson.
Chuck's a human veteran. He can take it apart 100 different ways. Dusty Rhodes is fighting on instinct.
And oh no! He got caught with a DDT!
My gosh!
What impact from the DDT!
You protect your leg, you drop on your head. I don't know how much more this kid can take. I don't like seeing that because I never need somebody to peel somebody off me. You can't hardly blame him under the circumstances. Rosen is starting to get the best of these guys. Can't hardly blame him. Your friend's getting hurt. You gotta go try to help him. I'm not so sure I can get anybody right now.
And Silver Gibber got some big news on the wrestling hotline until midnight tonight. And then big news tomorrow. Yes, go. Awakening time. The Steamboat came in to prevent that. And Dusty he hooked it up and dropped it right in space.
You don't need a good leg or a good head to do that. 265 and put the body with these right down. He can understand.
He rips the tag to Beat 'em Up. It was Beat 'em Up. He started the damage on the left knee of Dustin Rhodes. Spinning leg lock. Beautiful Bobby now sits down and figure forward.
Notice that he hooked the leg over before he fell back. It makes it even worse when he lands. All that pressure goes on Dustin Rhodes' knee and ankle.
And the unfair advantage by Arn Anderson ends in the cheap shot on the unprotected knee of Dustin Rhodes.
This kid ain't gonna be ready in a week, Jim. I'm sorry. They've done their job.
They're really testing him, that's for sure.
He won't be ready next week.
Anderson, his head and Buford Bobby's head cracked together. And Dustin Rhodes trying every ounce of strength he has left to make a tag, but it's Rude who stops any thought of that.
It's a mugging. It's legal. It's 4-on-1 until he can get over and tag. And the Dangerous Alliance is taking this kid apart surgically. Smart wrestling.
I'm sure the Dangerous Alliance cared not who they crippled in this matchup.
You cripple somebody on the other team, you've done so because all 8 guys in this ring are great athletes. They're all ready to go. You can see it. Now the announcer quit and anybody out there.
Rhodes trying to fight back, but he certainly would be well served to make a tag at his earliest convenience. This kid has got great emotion, a great drive. Nabisco ducked the hand.
I don't think he sees it either.
place is shaken. The Stinger will challenge for wrestling's richest prize. And man, has he got a legion of fans, young and old alike. And this building is packed. And they are, I mean, rabid for this man.
Tell me something, Jim Ross. Now, is Paul Lee banned from the ring here too? Or don't he need to be out here?
I couldn't hear you.
I said, is Paul Lee banned from the ring here too?
Paul Lee doesn't manage the world's champion. He's advised by Harley Race, and I understand Race will be here. I don't like what Dangerously did at all.
I just don't want you making any excuses. You always want to blame Paul Lee.
Let's go back up to Gary Michael Capetta.
And ladies and gentlemen, accompanied by his mentor, former champion Harley Race. He is from Chicago, Illinois. He weighs 285 pounds. And he is the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. The Total Package. Lex Luger.
Perhaps the most arrogant individual I've ever been around. The Total Package, Lex Luger.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. His 30 days of training has definitely paid off. Look at the bulk on Lex Luger. He's the biggest I think I've ever seen him.
How does a guy bulk up that much in 30 days, Jess?
Probably with rest. You know, he wasn't holding down a full wrestling schedule, eating properly 3 or 4 times a day, and getting plenty of sleep.
Luger debuted in the sport in '86. Sting late in '85. Ironically enough, Luger was the 1986 Rookie of the Year. The runner-up was Sting. Last year at the first Super Brawl, they were tag team partners and took on the Steiner brothers. These two guys have been good friends. They've had business relations. They also won the 1988 Crockett Cup. But Luger certainly changed when he won that belt in July of last year. Sting was trained in Southern California by the legendary Red Bastien. Luger, on the other hand, was trained by another legend, Hiro Matsuda. So both men have had great teachers, and this is what it's all about.
And the other thing you got to look at is Luger has the man who's won the title more than anyone in the world, Harley Race, outside the ring. Harley knows what it takes.
Race, a 7 times world champion. Sting being very patient here. And I just saw it right there. What's your problem, Luger?
Well, in a moment, the talking will be over and it'll be time for action. Right now, you got the classic psych job going on.
Sting had major knee surgery in February of 1990. He came back and won his first world title and only world title to date in July of 1990. He has really been in a war with Ravishing Rick Rude and the Dangerous Alliance. And there's some mind games and some dialogue being delivered right here.
You know, maybe they're saying, let's forget the whole thing and go home. What do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we'll see which one takes the first shot. Right now, we got a verbal match. We'll see who wins this one and suckers the other one into taking the first shot.
These guys have been very good friends over the years. This is a very heart-rendering situation for the Stinger, and this crowd is deafening. It reminds me of Ali and Frazier.
Oh, there it went.
Luger announced at 295. Looks to be over 300 pounds to me.
I think the talking's over, Jim Ross. The action's going.
They lock it up in the corner. Sting with the advantage. He's got a big-time quickness advantage on Luger. Referee Nick Patrick stepping in between them.
And Luger vehement about something, jumping on Nick Patrick's back in there.
I think he wanted a quicker break. He wanted the referee to step in a little quicker. Luger at 19, the youngest man to ever start in the Canadian Football League. Played for Montreal. He was an offensive tackle. Signed with Green Bay not too long after that. Hammering blows and knee lift and big-time forearms on the back of the head.
And I told you my prediction's coming true. I said Luger would try to take him out quickly. The longer the match goes, I think the advantage goes to Sting. Luger looking awesome, but like you said, he looks over 300 pounds, and that can work against you if it ends up a 30-minute match.
Luger like a wild bull. And Sting going for the splash. And Luger counter with a clothesline.
I'll tell you, I don't think the Stingers ever have that happen to him, where he stings him in the corner like that and gets clotheslined for the trouble.
First time I've ever seen it. Power slam by the total package. And this human torture rack. He says it's time.
He's going to hook it early. I called it. It's going to be over early, Jim Ross.
Sting up and over. And a suplex. Back-to-back suplex. And now Sting has Luger in the rack. That's Luger's home.
Unbelievable.
Luger with all that body weight, able to free himself. Luger, Irish whip, and Sting caught it. Oh my!
Whoa.
That was like a DDT.
And the champ made a mistake there. He dipped his head. He didn't keep his eye on the Stinger. He thought he was putting him over the top. Instead, Stinger drove him down, like you said, Jim Ross. Almost a DDT type move.
Luger, who played pro football 7 years in a team environment, has found success and a great deal of it in this one-on-one atmosphere of WCW wrestling. And the advisor, Harley Race, distracting Sting long enough for Luger.
Harley Race did his job.
What ferocity on the outside. Sting countering Luger, and Luger falling back. Luger now begging Sting to slow down, and the Stinger has so much aggression and so much emotion in this match.
Well, I'll tell you another telltale sign. You notice Luger is sweating quite profusely. Sting has not broken a big sweat yet.
Great elevation and back body drop. Sting going for the cover. I don't think he'll get it here, and no. Stepping in, the Scorpion Deathlock.
If he can turn it, he can win it.
I don't think he's got it set. He didn't have it quite set, and Luger was able to reach to the bottom rope.
It also is Lex Luger's phenomenal strength did that. Luger with the power of the upper body strength, able to get up in a push-up position and crawl his way to the ropes.
But the champion now, I think, is in trouble. Cardiovascular conditioning, as Jesse the Body Ventura pointed out, may be coming into play here.
Well, I said it before, look who's sweating the most. You don't see Sting with major amount of sweat on his body. Luger's sweating profusely.
Sting being very cautious with Luger in the corner. And Luger with a thumb to the eye, temporary blinding Sting as Luger comes back with a short right hand. Clubbing blow to the back. Luger uses a pile driver in addition to the human torture rack.
Whoa, and he scraped his eyes right on that top rope. I used to do that a lot, Jim Ross. I used to like to use that top rope on the opponent's eyes.
It's certainly a dastardly maneuver.
Absolutely. Hey, when you're going for the title, all's fair, baby. nobody ever remembers who comes in second.
I'm surprised that Luger hasn't attempted to work on Sting's leg. His left knee was the one that was rebuilt in February of 1990. That's the one that Luger tried to take out back in November at the Clash of the Champions, when we found out it was Luger that was financing various men, and namely Cactus Jack and Abdullah, to put Sting out of action.
Oh, now how do you know that?
He admitted it. You were in Hollywood there somewhere.
Whoa, and the Stinger coming back with a flagrant chokehold. Apparently had enough of Luger's stuff and is just choking him down in the corner.
Sting had a very emotional approach to this match, and Luger caught him with a low blow. That was blatant, and the referee did not see it.
And that's also desperation. Not a good sign out of the champion when you got to go to a desperation type move like that.
Luger picking him up, inverted atomic drop to further injure the challenger for the heavyweight championship of the world.
And you can see Luger looking outside for advice from Harley Race, the 7-time world champion.
It's strange that the champion will be walking around as he was moments ago with his hands on his hips, almost taking it nonchalantly, like he's got this match in the bag.
Well, he should be following it up a lot quicker instead of jawing with the crowd right now.
Some people call it arrogance, some people call it conceit, some call it self-confidence. Whatever it is, Luger has it. Irish whip to the far side. He's got it, extends the arms, and brings Sting down. Gorilla slam by Lex Luger.
And the champ looks confident now.
He's got things going his way, there's no doubt about that. And Race says it's time for a pile driver. That's how he won the championship at the Great American Bash last July.
And that's what it looks like he's going for, Jim Ross.
Got him up and plants him.
He didn't really get him all with that, though.
He may have it, though. There may be enough. And Sting kicks out. The Stinger kicked out.
Well, Luger can blame himself for that one. He didn't hook the leg. Harley Race coming over here yelling he could have counted to 10.
Luger driving the elbow into Sting's throat or chest area. Again, high impact moves from the world's champion. Lateral press, and with the legs not neutralized, Sting took advantage.
That's right, those are sloppy covers out there. Something, a mistake a champion should not make. But Luger looks oh so confident, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He is very methodical in his approach in this championship matchup.
I mean, look at the Stinger's paint job is flying all over. You need to go see Earl Scheib.
Stinger, though, fighting with all he's got, and his eyes are a little glazed. The man sustained Luger's pile driver and comes back fighting, and now Luger's in trouble. Sting with a rush of adrenaline. What a right hand!
And what a comeback!
The Stinger now becoming dominant on the heavyweight champion of the world. Takes him face first down. And now rubs his face insultingly in the canvas.
Now Stinger's slowing it down a little bit. You'd think he would have kept the momentum going. He got the champ on the run, and he's given the champ a chance to get his breath back a little bit.
But I think he realizes what you said earlier. The longer the match goes, the greater the chances are of him capturing the world title here. And right now, I think he wants to punish the world's champion and extend the big man from Chicago.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, Jim Ross, he can punish him the most by taking his title.
You're exactly right on that. Excellent point.
Whoa, and that's a bit of a cheap shot. The old fingernails on the back.
Well, that's very uncharacteristic of Sting.
That's made famous by Maurice Mad Dog Vachon right there. The most volatile athlete out of Canada.
Right hands, Luger in trouble. Sting is dominating the 6'5", 295-pounder right now. And Sting goes, oh my! All the way over the top. Sting went over the top, able to land on his feet, luckily for him. And now Luger ramming Sting, ribs first into the steel. And now Race. Race with a trying to cheap shot here. And he went for the pile driver. And Sting got him. Luger back in the ring with Sting up on top. Sting crossbody. Sting hooks the leg. And
He got it!
He got it! He got it!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and new WCW World Heavyweight Champion, Sting!
What more can we say that you are not hearing and you are not seeing? The Stinger has just dominated Lex Luger to win the heavyweight championship of the world. And after the first few moments, it was really not in doubt as far as I was concerned. That was the better man on this day.
Well, I'll tell you what, here you see the ending. Stinger coming off the top after he backdropped Harley Race outside on the floor. Catches Luger with the crossbody block, hooks the leg in real tight. The referee right there for the 3 count. New champion.
The Stinger holding the championship of the world high above his head.
First from Marietta, Georgia, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. His partners from Detroit, Michigan, Lincoln Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers. And from Venice Beach, California, this is Steve.
8-man tag action here this morning. To cap it off here on the Power Hour. Remember, a lot of stars are contacting WCW. Many of them talking about wanting to compete here in the next couple of months. They said that a lot of things are going to be happening within the sport of wrestling in the next few weeks. As we said earlier, we had a title for that commentary on the hotline today. It would be You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. It's really going to be an interesting time in the next couple of weeks, but we've got a lot of great things I think to tell you about that happened after Super Brawl on the hotline. And that'll be on until midnight tonight. And we may have the need to update that hotline. And I'll explain that to you when you call us before midnight. Well, the rookie's going to lead it off here against beautiful Bobby Eaton. Beautiful Bobby, Arn Anderson, and a special challenge match against the Steiner Brothers in the Omni tomorrow night. And beautiful Bobby just slapping Marcus Alexander Bagwell, who was a high school athlete at Sprayberry High School in Marietta, Georgia, just north of Atlanta. Played for the Yellow Jackets there. Collar and elbow tie up. Beautiful Bobby with the advantage momentarily. We've talked about Eaton and Z-Man, or excuse me, Bagwell and Z-Man teaming, and he just paid beautiful Bobby back with a slap right to the chops. WCW's version of Don King, Paul E. Dangerously, protesting the officiating. Here comes the dog-faced gremlin and Arn Anderson. They will meet, as we said, in the Omni this Sunday night. Big challenge match. Anderson and Eaton did retain the World Tag Team titles. A very controversial match, to say the least. A lot has been said about the outcome of that tag team event. Steiner line by the Dogface, and one on double A. Larry the Crusher just got caught. Belly, the belly suplex. And the Dangerous Alliance got to regroup here in the early going of this 8-man tag team event. They may want to get Cactus Jack in. It may be a rush for him to get suplexed by the Dogface. Who knows? Dogface and Brother Scott ready for action. And they want the World Tag Team titles back. Almost to an obsessional level. You fans would like to be with us in the Omni tomorrow night, as we mentioned, starts at 7:30. Tickets on sale at all Ticketmaster locations throughout the Atlanta area. And the Stinger is in, the new WCW Heavyweight Champion. He'll be with us, championship belt and all, later today on WCW. Look at this great agility by the 252-pounder. Great movement and then great strength. He has it all. Agility and power. And Arn Anderson in a lot of trouble, as is beautiful Bobby. And Sir Lawrence of Zbyszko there calling a timeout, to which there is none. Sting, after the first few moments of his championship match last Saturday at Super Brawl, was completely dominant, in my estimation, in winning the heavyweight championship. He seemed to be in much better condition. He got stronger as the match went on, just as Chesty the Body Ventura said he would. He really dominated that world title match. Cactus Jack in. Big 303-pounder hammers away at Sting. Cactus, certainly one of the more hated competitors in WCW, but he also has a very bizarre cult following. Maybe he'll develop a following like the Grateful Dead. And Sting outside, and Paul dangerously sprinting away from the world's champion. Indeed, discretion is the better part of valor in that situation. K. Allen Fry very upset at Dangerously's antics. Mr. Fry on our radio program on AM 750 WSB last Sunday is going to certainly address that situation with Dangerously. Scotty Steiner in, the master of the Frankensteiner. Good move there by Scotty. Certainly want to thank the radio listeners in the Atlanta area for making our program the #1 listened to broadcast in Atlanta on Sunday nights. Scotty whipping beautiful Bobby in, and caught him. Big time forearm there. Oh my! Cactus Jack pulled down the top rope, and Scotty, at a high rate of speed, went right over the top rope. And now Cactus Jack stomping away. And Arn Anderson with a DDT on the man he'll meet in tag team action in the Omni Sunday night. Brings in Larry the Cruncher Zbyszko, who has an engagement with the Bull Rope later this weekend in Atlanta. And Scotty stops, hooks the arms, and impact. Power bomb, and Zbyszko out at 2. Bagwell
this 8-man tag team event. Beautiful Bobby and Bagwell. There's his yellow jacket suplex and a cheap shot from the cruncher. Zbyszko with a brain buster drops a rookie on his head after the cheap shot.
Here are your winners, the Dangerous Alliance and Cactus Jack.
Fans, don't forget our candid observations of the state of affairs in wrestling on the hotline today. What a move. Cactus pulled down the rope. Steiner went out on his head. The wrestling hotline until midnight. And what a brain buster.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for the feature confrontation of Wrestle War 92 involving 10 of the toughest in World Championship Wrestling. So I say to everyone, let the War Games begin!
Here's some incoming, Jess.
I'm ducking down, Jim Ross.
And here it comes. The most ominous, the most intimidating structure ever involved in a wrestling event. Hundreds and hundreds of pounds of steel slowly lowering down over both these rings that will serve as a battleground for War Games.
And I'm just glad that I'm going to be on the outside looking in.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, very briefly, the rules of War Games. 2 teams will battle in War Games, which will consist of 7 periods. The first period will last 5 minutes. All other periods will be 2 minutes in length. 1 man from each team will enter the war zone for the first period. At the end of the first period, the referee will flip a coin. The team that wins the coin toss gains the advantage by sending a second team member into the war zone for a 2-on-1 situation and maintains that advantage throughout War Games. At the conclusion of the second period, the disadvantaged team sends their second man in, evening the matchup with 2 against 2. After the third period, the team which won the coin toss sends their third man in, thus regaining the advantage. The teams alternate during the remaining periods until all 10 men are in the war zone. At that point, the match beyond begins. The only way to win the match beyond is to force a member of the opposing team to submit or surrender. There will be no pinfalls. There will be no countouts. There will be no disqualifications. Official time will be kept at ringside, and the head referee's ruling will be final.
Well, fans, there are the rules. You can see so many key elements. Who starts the first 5-minute period, the results of that. The winning team of the coin toss that will have the advantage. That's so ultimately important. The injury situation, and the 1-on-1, the 2-on-1, the 2-on-2, and so forth. And now let's go up for the introduction of our first team.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the first team of War Games, accompanied by their Chief Executive Officer, Paul E. Dangerously. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dangerous Alliance, led to the ring by Medusa.
Here they come. The United States champion, Ravishing Rick Rude, Stunning Steve Austin, the Cruncher Larry Zbyszko, the Enforcer Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby, and Paulie Dangerously.
I have had the privilege of seeing every War Games here on pay-per-view, and I can tell you, after being in the sport for 20 years, there is nothing more violent, more volatile, and more dangerous, fans, than the match you're about to see.
And ladies and gentlemen, their opponents, led by the World Heavyweight Champion, is Sting's Squadron!
There you see Sting, Nikita Koloff, Barry Windham, Ricky the Dragon, Steamboat, and the Natural, Dustin Rhodes.
There will be a price to pay. There will be one team that wins and one team that loses. I know that's redundant, but when this one's over, it may be hard to tell the winners from the losers in this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the guy with the biggest disadvantage is the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. He's got the least amount of experience. He's the youngest man that'll be in the ring, and he may be the one who, when it's gut check time, maybe won't have it.
All right, it's going to be interesting to see who will start it off, who will be the designated leadoff men for their teams. There you see Dangerously has his people huddled around him.
This is the one. So we're going to go with this one, but this is where it is. Steve, you're the man. You're the one that starts it. You're the one that does the number. Whenever they pick, you got to get them down, and then we hope it's a 2-on-1, okay? You got the
You know, just like the days of the great Vince Lombardi, Mike Ditka leading the Bears. That's kind of what Paulie Dangerously reminds you of, don't it, Jim Ross?
Not quite. Reminds me of somebody like Jim Jones in Guyana, leading his people into this situation. I wouldn't compare him with Vince. And it will be Stunning Steve Austin and Big Barry Windham, the television champion and the former television champion. And baby, they're getting it on, and they're getting on hard and fast in the early going.
And Barry Windham was the smarter of the two. He allowed Austin to come across to him, which allowed Stunning Steve to be exposed, and Windham caught him right at the get-go.
So these two men have the greatest challenge of all. They'll be in it for the entire time, and Windham almost head first into the steel. Boy, these guys have no love lost since Windham won the TV title from Stunning Steve Austin. Windham a veteran of War Games. Austin is not. That could be a difference as this progresses.
And there you see Windham again with that taped fist. I don't know why they allow him to tape that hand up.
Well, he got it destroyed by the Dangerous Alliance.
Months ago, Jim Ross, months ago. Don't tell me that it still hurt, because that's impossible.
Windham's head ran into the top turnbuckle. Remember, this is a 5-minute period. We'll see no pinfalls in this entire bout. Windham raking the eyes. The referees are not even inside the cage.
This is the key right here.
Barry trying to get him up in a suplex, but it's countered. Nice elevation by Austin on Barry Windham. He dropped the elbow right on his face.
If we don't get the 2-on-1, we got to work them over to this corner. If we can do it over here and we keep them alive, we come in and we make a save.
Talking about a corner or something, I don't know, but again, Dangerously says if we get the advantage, the coin toss will be held right after this 5-minute period. The team that wins the coin toss will then be able to send one man in, making it 2-on-1. Right hand by Barry.
And that'll be for 2 minutes before the other team gets their man in there.
They put the brakes on. Windham raked the eyes. They're going to the cage. The cage is just like another weapon. It's like that DDT there.
And Barry Windham getting the early advantage here. I'll tell you what, if the advantage goes to Sting's squadron, Stunning Steve could be in trouble. He could be hurt early. And as we said, it don't really get going till the match beyond when you get all 10 men in there. Windham trying to rub his face into that steel cage, hammering away with the taped right hand. That should have been checked before he came in the ring.
I'm sure they did. How do you know they didn't? It doesn't make any difference.
Come on, Ross.
There's no disqualifications anyway, Jess.
Well, then cut the damn thing off and make it even.
Clothesline up and over the top. What a night here in Jacksonville. Austin, clothesline, brings his adversary over. The television champion of the world being battered now. It's who can injure who in this situation.
Again, pinfalls mean nothing. Uh-oh, Stunning Steve got hung out to dry right there. Oh, head first right into that canvas.
Wyndham now trying to continue to inflict the pain. That right hand caught Austin right above the eye. And in this time, he went right to the steel face first. Wyndham again takes Austin. Oh! His face right here by us. My gosh! You can hear the sickening sound of that flesh
And
meeting
look
the
at
steel.
Steamboat spitting on him.
I didn't see that.
I can't believe that Ricky Steamboat would stoop to that level.
I didn't see that, Jess.
You only see what you want to see,
Well,
Ross.
so do you, and I didn't see that. And look at this. I see Barry Windham breaking Austin's face right into the steel.
And Austin's bleeding. He's busted him open on the steel cage. Stunning Steve in major
There
trouble.
is 1 minute remaining in the first period.
1 minute remaining in the first period. And then we'll have the coin toss. Austin badly lacerated here after his face ran into that steel. Oh, Wyndham's head. Look at this. Wyndham's right hand is
Covered in blood. The tape fist. The illegal tape fist.
A postcard from Mama
30
before.
seconds remaining.
He's biting him.
oh, the intensity here. Less than 30 seconds to go.
You call it intensity. I call it cheating. Bite.
15 seconds in the first period.
They're having a coin toss. They'll be having it momentarily on the other
8,
side of the ring from us.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now the coin toss.
And the Dangerous Alliance won the toss.
They call tails, and look who they're sending in. The heavy hitter, the U.S. champion, Ravishing Rick Rude. The Dangerous Alliance will have the advantage. And from behind, it's Rude, the U.S. champion. Can he hold off Barry Windham until Austin can regain his senses? Look at Rude open up on Windham.
Well, Austin's bleeding like a stuck pig in the ring. Ravishing Rick Rude has got to take over on Barry Windham at this point in time, or the Dangerous Alliance is going to be in major trouble.
Windham being hammered out of the corner. Oh, the intensity. The enthusiasm here. It can only happen in WCW. Austin trying to pull his way up. And he is a battered mess. Big right hand by Windham. Windham blocks Rude's attempt at running face first into the steel. Oh, but from behind. Now the advantage really comes to the front.
And let's give a lot of credit to the former television champion, Stunning Steve Austin. He's bleeding profusely, but he's made enough of a comeback to drive that clothesline move off the second rope right into Barry Windham. And now Windham in major trouble.
Wyndham's got to survive. As you can see on your screen, about 40 more seconds before he'll have, oh man, a teammate. And you can hear the smack of that one. Wyndham's head right into the support, a steel support in the middle of the cage.
We're down to 30 seconds before it'll be even
30 seconds
2-on-2.
remaining in the period.
Rude and Austin continuing to hammer away. Tremendous
15
punishment.
seconds remain in the period.
Inside 10 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Who's going to come in?
4,
It's going to be Steamboat.
3, 2,
It's going to be Steamboat. Listen to this explosion. Steamboat going right for Rude. Hammering Austin. Oh,
And the Dragon Ricky Steamboat. He caught Ravishing Rick Rude when he wasn't watching.
that's capacity crowd taking the roof off. A DDT. Steamboat with a DDT on Austin. Oh, yeah. ring here. Now Steamboat, the man he hates, the championship belt he wants, but there's no titles here. It's submission or surrender. And look at Austin.
And Barry Windham, I see in the corner, is bleeding also now.
Steamboat using the top of the cage as an ally. What's going to happen?
1 minute remaining in the period.
Takes him down with the legs. The Dangerous Alliance will send one man in as soon as this period expires, giving them the advantage back, 3 on 2.
And I'll tell you, they're paired up now, Jim Ross. Barry Windham paired up with stunning Steve Austin. You can't even see Austin's face. He's so masked in blood. Ravishing Rick Rude going to that injured nose of the Dragon Ricky Steamboat.
It looks like it's going to be the enforcer, Arn Anderson, a man that was pointed out by Eric and Tony earlier. He could be the deciding factor in this match. He's a bona fide veteran of this environment. Anderson poised, ready to come in.
15 seconds remain.
We're down to 10 seconds, and here comes the enforcer, Arn Anderson.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The door opens, and there goes Arn Anderson. Barry Windham meets his former partner, and Anderson caught him with a DDT. They're hitting with everything that's
He's
not
coming
nailed
after
down.
Steamboat. Steamboat don't see him coming. And Arn Anderson caught the Dragon. That's why the Dangerous Alliance was... Whoa, a spine buster. That's why the Dangerous Alliance with the major advantage, because their man gets to come in first.
He's going to hurt Steamboat here. That's what they're trying to do. Look at this double crab. Double Boston crab. I've never seen that before. They're trying to break Steamboat's back.
I'll bet you the Dragon's screaming for every single girlfriend that he's got here in the Jacksonville crowd.
He
And
doesn't
who
have
knows?
any girlfriends
That could
here.
be 10 or 20 of them.
Well, that's not true, and you know it. Windham in, right hand, and he nails Anderson. Oh, what? It's intense. It is almost.
1 minute
Right
remaining in
hand.
the period. 1 minute.
This is instant. I have never seen a War Games start off with this intensity. In fact,
My guess is the next man in is going to be, it looks like it's Dustin Rhodes, the natural.
oh, pile driver. Steamboat is being wrecked. It looks like a car wreck on the interstate. Out here on I-95. Bodies
30
lying
seconds
everywhere.
remaining in the period. 30 seconds.
They've got 30 seconds more with this advantage. Oh, Steamboat thrown over. Both ropes into the other ring. Rude coming over after him. Anderson
15 seconds remain.
goes Windham between the ropes.
10,
And Steamboat and Rude clothesline each other. Here comes the natural, Dustin Rhodes.
2, 1.
Here comes the natural. Hooking it up with Arn Anderson. The young kid from Austin, Texas. Irishman, he caught him. Right in the face, and he caught him. Right in the face again. The elbow, and down goes Double A. Right hand. And Tommy Brown got his head on the cage.
And you notice Dustin Rhodes is being very smart. He's taking on stunning Steve Austin, who is injured and injured badly.
Look at Steamboat's got the Boston Crab on Rude. Trying to break his back. Red ride by Windham. Rhodes. Battering Austin. Great shot here. Look at this. Oh! Oh, my! My God, I've never seen anything like it.
Remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Look at that, look at that! Look at Windham has Anderson's head between the rings! Dustin Rhodes, fisted fire on Austin! Steamboat and Rude on the other side!
And it's a figure 4 leg lock that Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's got Ravishing Rick Rude hooked in.
Coming up on the 30 seconds in the period remaining.
And we'll see, is it going to be Beautiful Bobby, or is it going to be the Cruncher, Larry
30
Zbyszko?
seconds remain in the period.
Rude and Steamboat. Now Steamboat with the advantage here. Almost down to the...
15 seconds remain.
It looks like it's going to be Zbyszko. A man who has got a big cloud over his Dangerous Alliance career, it would seem.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here comes the Cruncher, Larry Zbyszko.
The victor from Pittsburgh, and Dustin Rhodes introduces himself to the Cruncher. Right hands, in right hands, in lefts, in rights. Oh, what a street fight. And what's she doing? What's Medusa doing?
She's climbing up the cage.
What is she doing here? What has she got?
Oh, she gave Arn the phone.
Oh, Dustin Rhodes hit in the face with a telephone.
Look at this.
Sting is up there. Anderson using that phone like a weapon, and Medusa is going to low ground. Look at
Arn Anderson definitely making a long-distance phone call in the ring.
He is reaching out and touching everything he sees with that telephone. There's Rude raking his face.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Ripping at it. Who will be in next? Will it be Koloff or will it be Sting?
Come on.
Well, I figure if they're smart, they'll send Nikita Koloff in because Sting's still suffering from the broken ribs at the hands of Van Vader. I don't think the champion wants to get in any sooner than he has to.
Well, I think he looks ready to me. Can I stand still? Oh, my. This thing is, they're battling all over both these rings.
30 seconds remain in the period.
Wyndham again rammed into the steel. Dustin Rhodes rammed into the steel.
We're down to 15, Jim Ross, and it looks like it's going to be the
15
champ.
seconds.
Rude and Steamboat will not separate. They're still hooked up.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's a champion. Yeah, he's ready. Broken ribs or not, the champion of the world is in. Taking Anderson down. Oh, what velocity. Driving his head into Rude's face. The Stinger, through the strength. Extends the arms.
And he's cracking Rude into the top of the cage. Look at the strength by the champion Sting.
Tremendous strength and desire.
We've got
Anderson, he tastes the steel. His face went right into it.
We've got 2 wrestlers to go.
Whoa. Backdrop into the cage. Have you ever seen anything like this on pay-per-view?
And then 2 wrestlers to go, and then we hit the match beyond, where it then becomes strictly who will quit.
Bobby.
Medusa taping Bobby's right hand.
Arn Anderson bleeding profusely.
1 minute.
His face being chopped up. These men, it will take days to get over this, if they can get over it at all. What a career-shortening match we potentially have here. Rude, between the rings, between the ropes.
30 seconds and we'll get Beautiful Bobby, the last of the Dangerous Alliance.
What a move by Stunning Steve Austin. Zbyszko and Wyndham both down. Remember the first 2 men in the ring were Stunning Steve and Barry Windham. What a gut check for those guys.
15 seconds.
Look at Rude. They're making a wish. And it's not even Thanksgiving.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful Bobby in now. And the Dangerous Alliance at full strength. 5 on 4.
For the next 2 minutes. And then last will be Nikita Koloff, and then the match beyond. Dustin Rhodes bleeding. I think every man in the ring is bleeding right now, Jim Ross.
I don't care who you love or who you hate. You got to admire the intensity of these athletes here in WCW. They're giving it all they got. Wyndham's eyes glazed over. How can you not respect what you're seeing here? Oh, what a clothesline. They're putting their bodies on the line. They're letting it open. Nabisco doing something with that turnbuckle. And now Rude's over there.
Now Rude's over on that turnbuckle. Paul Lee always think, look at the strength of Ravishing Rick Rude.
They're loosening the turnbuckle. Barry Windham has got all these in the period.
1 minute.
Those ropes are loose because the Dangerous Alliance has loosened the turnbuckle. And Dustin Rhodes over here is a bloody mess. And look at the Sting stomp away at the United States Heavyweight Champion. The ring is, I don't know if this damn structure is going to hold it. Guard structure, I'm sorry.
30 seconds and Nikita Koloff hits the ring. Arn Anderson working over Sting, the champion. It's bloody battle royal time now. And the match beyond will begin in 15 seconds, Jim Ross.
And there's been a lot of speculation. What will Nikita Koloff do in this one? Will he be loyal to his teammate? We've talked a lot about it. We're going to find out in 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1. It's the match beyond. Submit or surrender.
The match beyond begins. It's submission or surrender here. Koloff, what impact there? And look, him and Sting, what's he gonna do? He picks him up and eye-to-eye. Two former adversaries. Oh, he pushed Sting out of the way and took the bullet. Nikita pushed Sting out of the way and took the impact from Anderson and Austin.
I don't understand what the two of them were beefing about. Aren't they supposed to be teammates?
Oh, yeah. Koloff and Sting dominating this one ring with Austin and Anderson. It is deafening here in Jacksonville, Florida at Wrestle War 92. Koloff poked in the eye violently. He's down. Barry Windham and Larry Zbyszko.
Ross, with all this craziness in the ring, how does the referee hear who submits?
I don't know, man. It's going to be hard. They've got several officials here. I think there's 3 of them down here. Somebody will hear it. There you see Steamboat and Rude, who have battled for the longest time. Look at Sting going for the scorpion on Anderson. And it could be all here. He's got the scorpion on Anderson.
Oh, beautiful. Bobby came up and saved Arn Anderson. Big forearm across the champion's back. Hey, look at this. The turnbuckle's broken.
He's got that steel there.
Beautiful Bobby trying to repair it. I think he should worry more about wrestling than repairing the turnbuckle.
I don't think he's got ring maintenance on his mind here. That's Dustin with a figure 4 on Zbyszko. Sting in a bad way. Oh, it caught Anderson. Good Lord, it caught Anderson. And Koloff has got Austin. There is nothing in the world that compares to WCW action, and you're seeing it in its most intense, violent best right here. The ring is just being destroyed.
All contestants are wearing out now. Somebody will have to surrender, or somebody will have to submit pretty soon. How long can they take this kind of punishment, Ross?
Sting has eaten over here in the corner. Dustin Rhodes up on top. What's he gonna do? Oh, he missed the elbow.
massive elbow. That's exactly what he's going to do.
Eaton and Zbyszko double teaming the champion of the world. There's so much action we can't call it all. And once he's got that turnbuckle. That's that steel. That's unexposed steel there.
Again, Bobby Eaton trying to repair the ring.
They can use that as a weapon. Remember, no disqualification. My gosh.
Look at this.
That's a big steel hook there.
Ooh, the champion is going to pay.
Oh, Tony
He hit Eaton.
He hit his own partner with a steel right in the shoulder. Sting goes to work on the arm. He's wrenching it. He's got it. He's wrenching it. Zbyszko with his partner with a steel. Submission right here. He's wrenching it. That's powerful. It's over. It's over.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner